Someone commented on my last video, how do you and your wife make the mental switch to living on one income? My first year in business, I earned $32,000, then 63, then 97. This year, I'm looking to crack six figures for the first time in my life. It's been an absolute fight these last 3 to 4 years. This may be the first year we're starting to be able to play on offense a little bit with our finances, so I'm kind of excited. My wife actually worked for the first 2 years. We've only been on one income for the last 2. Just wanted to kind of show our budget, just so you have an idea of what we spend our money on. We try to do $2,000 a week. I will take my variable expenses, put it into one account. Those are all set up with automatic payments. We only really budget the fixed accounts, the fixed expenses, the $1,050 a week. That's all we really budget. I will definitely dig into this deeper in the future at some point. Now, I can only speak for myself here, but here's what I've learned. It happens gradually. We're very open with one another. When things aren't working, we adjust as we go. For me, I had to realize on my own terms that video games, alcohol, and sports were no longer something that I value. I can't do that and raise a family and start a business and be a supportive husband. Something had to give. Those are an obvious one to get rid of. As a dad, also, we just don't know how to help. Society tells us we need to provide. So when this little ball energy is crying for its mom and we can't figure out why, we want to provide. We just don't know how. We are complete idiots. What we turn to is what we know: fixing up the house, cleaning, working more. That's how a man provides. During this time especially, it really helps for mom to be very direct with what I need. I need the water, the formula bottle filled up at this temperature for this many seconds in the microwave at 6:45 p.m. Very specific during this time because we're still learning how we're doing, right? Communication can be really hard. You might only get proper communication every 5 days, once a week if you're lucky, and then all of a sudden everything blows up. It's like a shaken bottle, right? You keep shaking it without opening it, but the pressure builds, then someone cracks the lid and explodes everywhere. I just had one of those on Sundays. It was not a great time at all, but our days have gotten a lot easier since, and actually this one's been building up for probably over a year. My wife was super supportive. She understood now is not the time to bring up some of the issues that I have. Let's be a supportive and see if we can get through this. I still struggle with the pressure of being a sole income earner. The holidays are really hard for me. Income is essentially falls for zero for 2 to 3 months. I have a hard time turning my brain off because I get anxious about the lack of income. I don't have this figured out yet, but I'm still in it. The one thing that helped, we talked about how neither of us had dated or married a mom or dad before. There needs to be some grace when things don't go naturally or happen exactly how you want it. We also talked about how each of us only have the tools in our parenting toolbox that were put there from when we were raised. Some tools we want to keep, others we want to replace. The only handbook we have is the one we were shown by our parents. So it takes advanced decision making to go against the default. For example, yelling. If you were raised on yelling being normal, you're probably going to default to yelling. At the end of the day, I own everything that I want done. If I want the dishes done before bed and my wife is happy doing them in the morning, that's a me problem. If the grass needs to be cut, but we just don't have time this weekend, that's a me problem. I can't control the mess around the house. I can control how I respond to that mess. In fact, a mess to me indicates that my family is having a very good time. Now, here's my perspective from my wife's point of view. This is just my perspective. I'm pretty sure she'll watch the video and tell me how wrong I am. So maybe I'll have to do a follow-up post. You have to build a community somehow. Women are not meant to raise children on their own. You're not meant to have a crying baby in your arms for hours at a time while you go crazy. You're meant to have a community to hold baby while you take 30 minutes to shower and have moments to yourself. I can guarantee you there are moms out there suffering alone in their own home thinking, I don't want to bother you, so I'm just not going to reach out. When a simple reach out could be the difference between suffering alone and a play date, which just frees up everything. Your babies are completely different when they're just you and the baby, right? Be the person who reaches out and be the person who has a messy home and gives the other mom permission to invite you over when their house is messy, because I can guarantee both your homes are messy. And please, if your husband's work schedule is not working, please say something. It might be a 12-month adjustment period while he upskills or finds a new job. Maybe you go to work, but that resentment will build up. I can guarantee you. What you thought would work when you were pregnant all changes with that baby here. Please make the adjustment. Pivot early to save that relationship.